It always takes a crisis for an inflection point. We had that April 20th with the market in pushing on WTI when we experienced a minus $37.43 settlement. That provided a stimulus to get something started.
We worked together with the industry to react to this exceptional events of April 20th. And we were already at that point actually working with the industry very closely because we've been observing the growing volume of US crude exports for a number of years.
Platts' bread and butter really is these waterborne cargo markets. If you look at the success of the Dated Brent benchmark, of the Oman-Dubai benchmark, these are waterborne cargoes that provides you that pure depiction of value, unencumbered by any logistics or storage constraints. So you get this really pure, consistent, dependable value that can then be used for a number of applications and price references around the world.
These markets are also underpinned by very deep and liquid derivatives markets. So Platts AGS is formed on the same DNA. It can fall back on that same level of experience and custodianship of crude oil benchmarks for the last 30, 40 years.
The AGS reference is underpinned by the observation of values for cargoes that are trading in the waterborne market in the US Gulf Coast. And we've been observing those markets and reporting on those markets and assessing those markets for 5 years now.
We launch new assessments, obviously, on a very regular basis. But this was one that had more people involved in its genesis than is normal. You have to be able to actually not just think of the methodology, but to be able to publish the assessment, to show the price to people. We're going through several layers of testing and building and testing in 24 hours, stuff that would normally take 2 weeks. Everyone was pulling out all the stops.
I think it's important that you have something that is clear, that it represents a cost of the barrel at the water.
You just talk about sheer liquidity. The Gulf Coast is the market. There needs to be a benchmark for that node. So to me, it does. It makes a lot of sense.
With the launch of Platts AGS, I think it really highlighted the strengths of S&P Global Platts. We were able to come together as a team, a global team, and put our heads together, put our experiences together, and come up with an assessment that made sense for the market.
Probably in my 5 years at Platts, the single greatest example of collaboration I've seen in terms of everyone galvanizing around a collective cause and just getting it done.
It is something that the market has stood up and took notice of almost immediately because there was such a need for an alternative for pricing. People wanted it and we provided it.
On June 26, we launched the number and made our first assessment and it was off to the races.